Hey folks! Welcome to Let's Play for a Day, a game I'm only going to play once, and afterwards, never again. I'm a towering beacon of zealous fury, and today we're playing 40,000 Kill Team. 40,000 being the subtitle for the Warhammer universe, and also this game's expected body count. Obvious joke. This is a PS3, 360 and Windows game. This is the 360 version, and it serves as a prequel to the game Space Marine, which was released for the same platforms. Which is weird, because the gameplay and structure here is entirely different. Anyways, no messing around, we are going to get right into it with level 1, and I'll just explain things as we go along. Or, you know, you can just look at this handy tooltip, which is jarringly out of place with the grimdark aesthetic. Oh, well, never mind that then. So Kill Team is a 2-player game, and it's more fun 2-player. But there's only me right now, so let's go. This is still doable. First, you need to pick your character. Sternguard Veteran focuses on ranged attack, less so on melee. The Librarian is the middle ground character in terms of ranged melee, and he looks super cool while doing it. The Vanguard is tricky, because his thing is speed. So he rushes in, cuts everyone down, rushes back out again. And this guy, he's the one you want to play. Tech Marine is the best. But we're not playing with him today. We're taking Sternguard. Now each character has 3 weapons to pick from. So I've got the heavy bolt gun, the plasma cannon, or a missile launcher. All of which are based on the actual Warhammer models. But today, I'm going to go with a heavy bolter. Because down here, we can equip perks. So we can have extra health, extra melee and range damage, that sort of thing. And I've got a very specific loadout. I have extra health in one slot, and range damage in the other. Because look at that, we have gone beyond maximum damage. That's amazing. And last of all, you have to choose which chapter you want your character to belong to. So we've got the Salamanders, the nicest, the most talented of the Space Marine chapters. They're only kinda angry. The Blood Angels, who are basically space vampires, they're only angry when they haven't killed anything for a short while. The Imperial Fists, who are one of the biggest chapters in the tabletop game, and are also really angry. You've got the White Scars, who are basically the Mongol Horde, except in space and on motorbikes. And they're pretty consistently angry. Blue Team! Because of course they're here. They are the angry Ryu character. And the Blood Ravens, a bunch of thieving gits, who are angry. Me, I'm going to pick the Imperial Fists, because yellow stands out in-game. And they're the closest thing this game has to the angry Marines, and those guys are the best. And do you know what? I have gone for about 3 minutes without killing anything, and I'm pretty sure that's some kind of heresy to these guys, so let's go. You know, I don't think Games Workshop ever puts out construction sets for the inside of an Orc cruiser, but this looks pretty much how I would expect it to. That's a good representation. BAM! And that's how you make an entrance!
Crush the spikes, Marines! This way!
And I reckon that pose would look even more badass if there was another Marine with me, but who cares? This is awesome. Also, the Imperial Fist Chaplain was voiced by John Hurt in the movie, and that's pretty awesome too. Oh, by the way, one of my secret things, I'm really into Warhammer, so expect a boatload of lore or something.
Destroy the door seals to open the portal.
Because, you know, that makes sense. Oh, I'm also really into dual-stick shooters, so this game's a perfect match. Aww, I was trying to look cool for the camera. I guess I'll have to do it by, like, actually doing stuff. So the reason I picked the heavy bolter, as opposed to the other weapons, is mostly because of its rate of fire. The plasma gun and the missile launcher are both stronger, but this guy is faster.
Hold your ground.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. For some reason? Oh, also, this gun is way more satisfying to shoot than the others. But the plasma gun makes little pew-pew noises, and that's not something that I want to hear in this setting. Oh, something fun you can do with this setup too. Sternguard Veteran Special Attack. As you can see, it fires one long chain of bullets, as opposed to controlled bursts. And there's a power-up in this game that doubles your rate of fire. And that effect stacks on top of your special attack. So if you use them both together with the Heavy Bolter, you get a wall of pain. And it's fitting, because that's kinda what the Imperial Fists are all about. Like, actually, in-universe, the Imperial Fists are the only chapter of the Space Marines who feel any kind of sex drive, except for... Whoa! Look at that guy ragdoll! Make a wish on the shooting orc, everybody! No, Warhammer literature says that the Imperial Fists are the only Space Marines who feel pleasure. But because all they know is war, it manifests as... well, like actual hate boners is what we're talking about right now. And it's one of the reasons that the Fists are so good at just getting stuff done. Like, if you are actively turned on by pain, there is no reason to back down from the guys who are trying to hurt you. And you've got no reason to stop pushing yourself because your body aches. Although on the other hand, some of the background text suggests that the Imperial Fists don't get off on pain, they're just really good at reacting to it. Like, you pull your hand out of a fire without thinking, these guys go into maximum overdrive when they are hurting. Oh, and you guys can just leave. I was about to explain things. So this little yellow satellite thing is basically a video game station, really. If you use it, you can swap out your weapons and or character perks. You can't change your characters, though. But I won't be using it anyway, because I'm doing pretty okay, I think. Oh, hang on a second. We're not done yet. There's always stragglers. And you know what? I'm actually going to go this way and grab that little power-up.
Rapid fire.
Yeah! Now check that out. Now hopefully we can find something to point this at, along with my special attack. So onwards! Yeah! Look at that! That is amazing! Oh, one for you too, you little grunt. Oh, it's a fun tactic. But it's a shame you have to rely on it. I mean, this game is obviously tooled for 2 players. To the point that the only way I managed to complete the game was by using the Tech Marine, whose special attack is, in essence, to summon another player character to fight for him. It's a lot of fun! Whoa! Take that, screen! But yeah, the Tech Marine is the best, but not very video-friendly. Because his best weapon has infinite range and massive cutting power, but it makes a consistent loud whirring noise that sounds like someone's running a circular saw in the background. And like, as long as you are firing, it is making that sound. Oh, and here's my pro tip for this game. Never stop firing! Like, I said it 399 videos ago, and I will say it again now. You don't genetically engineer a race of 8-foot-tall super soldiers, give them all rocket launchers, and then tell them to talk through their problems. I mean, if anything, you let your gun do the talking. Which is a lot easier than it sounds, because it only knows one very loud word. Sorry, are you watching this, boss? Because I've been doing a pretty good job of leaving none alive. Managers, right? Can't live with them, can't violently overthrow them. Although that happened once, actually. The Space Marines don't talk about it. I played Space Marines when I was in school, actually. And this was during my phase when I always wanted to play the good guys, because the good guys are the good guys. If I picked up the hobby again now, I would probably go for the orcs. Because with a greater understanding of the lore, I know that the orcs are hilarious. They are basically a galaxy-wide pub crawl, except they occasionally point their guns at the enemies instead of each other. And it is shockingly out of place, given pretty much everything else that exists within the world of Warhammer 40,000. Oh, and speaking of the plot, what are we doing here? Well, this here Orc cruiser is heading for a planet controlled by the Space Marines. Specifically, it's heading for the planet where the game Space Marine takes place. Although with that said, that's not why the Imperial Fists are here. Like, they don't need a reason. They were just passing, figured, sod it, let's throw down. But because of our involvement on this ship, certain events in Space Marine will play out as they do. I don't know what those events are, because I don't own Space Marine. Like, one of my friends was going to buy me that, or Child of Eden for Christmas, and he figured that they are two diametrically opposed games. Like, you've got a game bursting with infinite happiness, or the grimmest and darkest thing in all of the lands. And I think he made the right choice, getting me the happy one. Point is, we're helping the not quite as bad as the others guys to win. Because again, if you look at the lore, the Space Marines are what humankind goes on to become. And basically we're taking back what's ours, along with a bunch of stuff that we really, really want. But on the other hand, we do it with a great deal of deceit, trickery, and, you know, genocide. So, we're hardly the good guys in this scenario. In fact, you could make the case that the in-game bad guys, the Chaos Marines, are the good guys, because they're the ones rebelling against the Imperium of Man.
Power shield.
I mean, you could make that case, but that would be heresy, and you would be wrong. And I'm reminded of an instance in high school, by the way. Like, my first year of high school, one of my first English assignments we had to do a talk to camera about our hobbies. And I did a lame little talk about some figures I was collecting, because I'm a compulsive collector of things like that. I mean, just look at my amiibos, right? I mean, please, look at them. This one kid called Joe, he brought in his entire Space Marine army. Oh, and you'll have to excuse this story for just one moment, because I now choose to say the sentence, "Oh my god, it's a couple of orc knobs," because I can, because that's what they're called. Now, read on. So this kid brought in everything that he had. Foot soldiers, air support, heavy support, command, artillery, all of it. And for his talk, he explained that he collected Warhammer 40,000, and he talked through the events of the Horus Heresy. And if you aren't aware, the Horus Heresy is why Warhammer is, you know? It is the Old Testament, basically. And he went on for about half an hour. I mean, we thought it was funny how long it was going on, before the teacher pointed out that A, we were all interested in listening to it, and B, he was the only one who actually put effort into his talk. I mean, I certainly didn't care about mine. And I don't care to keep talking about it, so let's move on from that bleak and hellish existence, and back to this one. And I think that power-up doubles your melee strength, which isn't exactly something I need, but whatever, it's better than nothing. Oh, and this looks bad. This is a stupid idea. Why am I heading for the corner? Yeah! See, that power-up was useful after all. Oh, and you guys are nothing. You can just get out of here. Not nearly enough DACA to take me on.
This is your objective.
And with
the chem waste.
that,
Fight your way up to the gantry. Open the valves. We'll drown the generator in its own filth.
you know, this guy knows an awful lot about orc machinery. I bet he's a heretic too. I must remember to report him once we get back. Anyways, back to the topic of orcs, because orcs are hilarious. In the tabletop version of Warhammer, orcs are massively psychic, and they have the ability to bend reality to their will, but they don't know that. And that was some nice range combat, boys. Don't send a chopper to a shooter fight. That's what my old grandma used to say. She was a wise woman.
Power shield.
Wise woman. But the orcs! If they believe something strongly enough, then it becomes true. And the classic example, from the rulebook in fact, is that they believe red vehicles are the fastest, so red vehicles are faster than any other kind. And the silliest application of this logic, and therefore best, is that orc camouflage is neon pink, because that way the enemy can see you, and they can see how well hidden you are. And try not to think about too much, it'll make your head hurt. Oh, and they also have Donkey Kong tech! Too busy talking about how great they are to notice their cutting-edge ambushes.
Valves and let the foul waste.
Told you they were cunningly brutal. Now I wonder. Oh, I can! Awesome! So I shifted my hand, and I'm holding the controller claw grip style, so I can hold down the action button while shooting. And don't question how that works in-game either, because that too will make your brain hurt. I don't need that yet. Let's save it for the way back down. And while I do this, which is my grenade button? Whoa! Hey! Hi, how's it going? Didn't see you there. Now, there we go. That's how you throw grenades. Now, how do I throw grenades such that they will hit something? I'm sure I'll get to it. So the reason this is a play for a day, I mean, I considered doing the whole game, but this is pretty much it. Like Zombie vs. Ambulance, there's not a great deal of variety in the rest of the game. And it's a shame, really, because as you go through the game, you begin receiving radio transmissions from the orcs, so you can predict their plans. And at one point, you get a transmission that's just bugs, followed by silence. And soon after that, you get to a mission and find 0 resistance. Like, you go through a couple of objectives and everything is cream gravy, right up until the Tyranids start pouring out of the air ducts, and suddenly the whole game just turns into the movie Aliens. And, I mean, thematically, it's great. Like, you want to make the player nervous? Take away their enemies. Make them realize that something is better at killing things than they are, and that something is now their enemy. And canonically it works as well. Because in the tabletop game, the Tyranids are basically space locusts. They arrive, devour everything, and then leave. And the smart money says that the Tyranids are eventually going to win the war. I mean, them or the Necrons. But that's a battle for another time. And that dynamic heat haze looked great. Well done to whoever programmed that. I'm also going to snag some tech. But yeah, in this game, the Tyranids are basically just the model swap. Like, they behave exactly the same as the orcs, and they are just as easy to kill. So, I figured, you know what? I am going to show this off, and I'm going to invite you to enjoy the game on your own terms, if you like that kind of thing. I know I do. I mean, I wish I had more twin-stick shooters like this one, but I can't find any.
Health restore.
Like, actually. Not even some bad ones. Which is weird, because you'd think this would be comparatively easy to make, right? Man, that is always fun. See, the other characters have special moves of their own. Like, the Librarian draws enemies in, and then sets off an explosion. The Vanguard charges forward with his jetpack. That's sort of got a knockdown effect. And the Tech Marine summons a turret that follows him around and attacks the biggest threat on screen. Which, as I say, it's basically Summon Player 2. But in-game, the Stern Guard has the best one. Absolutely. I don't know, there's just something viscerally satisfying about the way that it looks and sounds and works. There is no style, no finesse, just more bullets than the next guy. And now we're blowing up these toxic waste things. I don't know what they do. I'm not a heretic. I'm just gonna smash it until it stops what it's doing, because, I mean, that's what the Imperium of Man does. For the Emperor! Alright, come on, guys. Oh, and that is not quite the power-up I was wanting to go for, but whatever, it did the trick anyway. And you can see why I picked the health buff, because that thing is a lifesaver. And I don't think this rapid fire is going to last long enough to take out the second wave, so let's heal. You know, this scene shows up in another one of the game's modes too, because it has a survival mode. Just plonks you in an arena like this, and you have to keep going until you die. And it's a fun... Oh yeah! Look at that kill, that was great! Thanks, Action Cam! Oh, and there's another wave. Way to ruin the climax. Kinda speaking of, survival mode is ultimately pointless to me. I am not overly keen on supposed-to-lose game mechanics. Like, I want to accomplish something. Like killing stuff. That is the basest and most obvious accomplishment we can be making here. Like, it is literally the name of the game. I mean, not really, but it's implied. Aha! Some kind of variance. That is an orc chopper and an orc shooter. And I'm going to cheese him with a little little frag grenade action there, but what you are meant to do, and this is another pro tip for anyone who wants to play the game on their own selves, you shoot them until they die. Yep. Also, that little red insignia above my head is the halo of invulnerability, channeling the very essence of the Emperor himself, so I can shrug off any attack as painless. It's a handy tool to have, and I don't know why it doesn't come standard issue. I mean, possibly because the Emperor protects us all anyway, and to suggest he doesn't do it well enough is heretical or something? But the answer is usually because anything else is heresy with the Space Marines. Oh, and I like the framing of this scene. And who thought I'd be saying that about a twin-stick shooter? It's just usually you're on the inside and you have to fight out, or you have to stand tall and defend the gate. Much like the best mission in all of Guilty Gear Overture. Alright, anyone else want some? Oh, yeah, there's a second wave coming. I also like how the entire weapon pack is glowing because I'm powered up. But it looks a little weird, but whatever, I still like it. Oh, and of course, the Imperium does not look at explosions. The harder you don't look, the more righteous you are. And that's level 1 of the game kill team. Did you want to turn a little bit there, guy? You're not giving us the most flattering angle of the model. Hey, there you go. Also, there are collectible emblems you can find around the level. And it says I got them all, but you didn't see me collect any. Because I got them in my main playthroughs of the game, and they don't respawn. But yes, that is Warhammer Kill Team. Pretty fun game, I thought. And it's cheap, so go buy it. You might enjoy it. So, join us next time for something else. And until next time, goodbye.